All right, art students, welcome back to another quick lesson on drawing females. We're going to continue with the females because a lot of people a lot of artists, especially beginners, do men, all men, all men. So when they try to do the females look like she-men. So I'm going to show you, and it's really simple to do the female body. It's just more practice. And once you get the basics and you kind of curve it a little bit, chop off the pieces that you don't want to make it more slimmer, then you have a female drawing. And let me tighten this camera up a little bit. Let me get a little closer with my camera without it going into blur mode, because at a certain distance it'll keep blurring on me. So do I need to sharpen my pencil? Let's just go for it right now. And then, as I said in the other video, if you hadn't seen the other video, all it takes is basically the K shape, open K, like that, and then you have your body. It's simple. People don't teach you that. That's why you're here at Brian's channel. So yeah, and it's just, you want to tilt the shoulder, you want to tilt the hip, and then your leg. Since this one is down, you're just going to be your down leg. This is going to be your up leg. You could curve it if you want. Bring this in. Here's your head. You can bring that leg up, this leg down, whatever. This leg up as well, and flying, whatever. So you see how simple that is just with this shape here. So most of your work is done. The hard part, as I always say, is how am I going to position my arms and legs. Hey, this could be the drawing right here. I can have this drawing done in like 30 seconds and boom, okay. That's going to be it. Thanks for coming. So yeah, it's just this K, as I say, you want to slim it in a little bit more. Tilt the shoulders. Your shoulders and your hips are always going to be opposite, for women anyway. And then, yeah, you add your breasts and it's done. Hey, quick 2 minutes and less than that, 2 minutes, 40-second video. So, all right, let's do the position. And it's just going to be standing positions. I'm not going to have like nothing really dramatic in the beginning because I want you to get the shape right. And I always have to twist my paper. And this is just colorful paper so the camera won't blur on me. So this is going to be basically just a kind of a stand, a female stand. Kind of a stand, kind of a female stand. What? And the hard thing is you don't want to get this part too big, the torso too big, and you don't want to get the waist, the hips. Well, you can get the hips as big as you want because it's your character. Just knowing that you don't want it to be too wide because you're doing a female, not a man. So okay, I got my K shape. I have my K shape, which is kind of like the same thing as doing and this is what you would do if you were doing a front female, the hourglass kind of shape, or just 2 Ks together, and then you put your legs and you put your head, and wow, you're just drawing a storm, aren't you? So yeah, as I say, it's just a matter of getting this the right size and getting the head the right size. So when you have this K, you don't want this sticking out, you want to chop it off like this. And maybe just a little bit on the other side, maybe. But this is going to be where your arm is going to go, and you're chopping it off so the shoulders won't be so wide. So if I put this here, and let's put her hand, arm here, and I can have the other arm coming down and out like that. So usually I'll put the head, I usually put the head last when I'm doing men, because the body is what's important for me. But with the women, I want the head to be the right size for the body. Say it right, Brian. I want the head to be the right size for the body so that the shoulders won't come out too long. So if your shoulders are kind of long, just make the head a little bigger. And this is why I put the head on kind of not right away, but usually second. So this position right here, and because I have this, it looks like this head would look better turning this way. And usually when I start drawing, it'll come to me as in how I want the head to be. Unless I don't want to say already know the position. If I'm doing a position where somebody's drinking coffee or whatever, I know what I want. But usually for you guys, I kind of envision a position and I kind of go from there. So instead of having this up, I'm going to lean it back. Where's my blue? I'll show you guys a little bit. I'm going to lean it back a little bit, bring it in for the waist, and then bring it back out for the hips. That'll give her that kind of like leaning back pose. And then you don't want to have, you want to curve this around somewhere in there, depending on what's going to happen to the leg. So I can bring this in even more to slimmer out. Depends on the style that I want, the age of the person, how thick I want the person. So, but you want to keep this, you know, this size. And I could, you know, you can have the big power woman, you know, breasts, power girl, I think it's power girl, power woman, or you can have slim, you know, size J breast. I don't know breast size, but yeah. Once you get this decay letter right, then the rest should be pretty easy. So from here, wow, that leg is going to come way down. Okay, so here's my crotch is going to be right here, if that's not too far down. So let's just do this. This is going to be the opening for the torso. Going to have my hips here. So yeah, that would have been a little too high up. Oh, high down. Too high down? A little too low. So I'm going to bring this one leg in front. She's going to be balancing on this leg here. And then the knee, and this is going to be straight down and give a little bit of calf right there. Not too much of a leg bend because I don't want it to look like she's walking. And this other one is going to come behind, down. So if I do this in blue, it's going to be like this. The knee is going to be here. The other calf is going to be here, and the foot is going to come out. This foot is not going to be as far down as this foot. So let me finish this. Here's my little upside down U. So that's going to be the top of the foot. Top of the foot, where the ankle is. So the other foot is going to come down like this, and then be kind of like to the side. If I can get that right. Like that, except it's probably going to be more flatter. Looking in the monitor. This has got to come back more. And probably see more of that foot. This one was fine until I put that back leg on. So let's try a reverse. Let's try to put this back leg on first. Calf's not too low on a female. You don't want a low calf like a man. And then here's that. And then that foot is going to be a little heel. Like that. Maybe a little short. Maybe. But I don't want the other one because the other leg has got to be longer. My voice sounds like that because I'm leaning into my monitor, trying to look at my monitor. So it's going to be about right here. This is where your heel is going to be for the other one because you have that balance point that comes right from the base of your neck or the center straight down. And that's where your heel is going to be at. So let me do this leg again. So the center of the leg is going to be like about right here. The knee. And that heel. I know it's kind of hard to see with the blue behind it. So I can erase the blue. I'm happy with the blue. So, or I should have said I'm happy with the back leg. So I can erase what I don't need to see. And the front leg looks pretty good. This I need because this is part of the leg. So bring that hip in more. And then out. And then get rid of some of these lines. That. I have a friend that's trying to get me to actually get into the computer drawing, and I thought about that for a long time, but I was like, no, to me that's kind of like cheating, for the simple fact that I see people do drawings and then they can cut this part out and then shift it or shrink it or whatever, and that's like, come on, that's being lazy. But I started to see some of the benefits of doing it, so I'm considering. We'll see. I'm old school, just like it took me forever for him to convince me that I should use Photoshop. And yeah, once I learned Photoshop, I was like, wow. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's the way the world is going, but I think eventually people will go back to the old school of drawing because everything is going to be online, computer, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to be a dying art, shall I say. I think real drawing and painting is going to be a dying art. And then people are going to come back to those artists that stayed with it, stayed with the fact of, drawing for real. That's just my opinion. You may have another opinion. But as I say, I'm old school. I don't like too many control buttons and all that in my face and opacities and all this stuff. I just like to just give me a table and draw. And the fact that I always use a lot of lines like this, I didn't understand how people would erase all the lines, but I never thought that you just add a layer. You draw your rough on a layer, and then you add another layer, and then you draw your final over it, and you can just erase that rough layer. And that's the thing that sold me, because I couldn't understand how people could draw with the scratchy lines, and then at the end they have this beautiful drawing. But now that I understand, and the fact that I can actually record it where you can see the actual drawing being done, it's kind of piqued my interest. So yeah, we'll see. And it's not expensive, but I ended up buying a tablet, and I have never used it yet. I pulled it out maybe a couple months ago, and it started collecting dust because I didn't really have the room for my laptop and my tablet and some other stuff. So it's kind of sat there because I haven't done any Photoshop coloring in a minute. And that's the thing. I don't want to buy it if I'm not going to use it. I'd use it, but I have to learn the program, and I'm just lazy, trying to learn new stuff right off the bat. So the thumb is going to come here. It's going to be covered up. Here's the finger, another finger there, and the thumb is going to be here. So the palm is going to be kind of just resting against that. And thumb is going to be here, and give it more of a relaxed hand by bending those last fingers. And something Jim Lee always does, he does all of them except the one finger. I'm trying to remember how he does it, because this is really simple. He keeps all his fingers together except the one. I don't know if it's the baby finger or the pointer finger. But you're not Jim Lee, Brian. No, I'm not. So I have to do Brian's way. So just remember the thumb and this are connected. This finger's connected. So however you draw those two, they go together. And then whatever comes behind, like that other finger is going to come actually behind it. And the other two can be inside the palm. If you understood that. Let me see if I can show you. Turning my hand over, if I turn it sideways, you will always see this second finger. You will see that because this finger is not big enough unless I turn it to see the palm. So if you're not seeing any part of the palm, you're going to see the first finger and the second finger. The second finger covers up the other two unless you relax them, and then you'll see them in the palm. But again, you see this finger and then you see this knuckle and finger depending on how you do it. But you will always see these two if you turn your hand to the side and not see the palm. So that's that knowledge that I talked about. Drawing is 70% knowledge and 30% talent. His arm is a little long, but she's a female. And I try to give my females a little longer arms and a little longer legs so that it slims the body up more, because if you're drawing it like the Hulk type, you give them shorter arms and shorter legs. Well, because they're so thick. So looking in a monitor, I am liking that stand. Let's do the head. I always do a point for the chin for the female and then go out. Exaggerating, go out like that. And then it's going to be her neck here, ear, there. Neck is going to come in. This is going to slope down and out. Like that. And as I said on my other video, these are not going to be like these finished ink, beautiful drawings, because I'm not trying to do these beautiful pictures. It's like, oh, look how good I can draw. I'm trying to show you guys how to draw. Again, how big is the breast? And it's a heart. Usually I'll have my point right at the base of the neck, and then I'll do my heart like this. So she's turning this way, so you're going to see more of this. So basically this is going to overlap that one. And then as you come up, it's going to come up here and then down into that delt, and you erase this, keeping this. And then I have my neck coming down, shoulder turn. You can bring these up more if you would like. You can give this one, I can give this one a little more of a firmer shape. Yeah, and then get that edge of that bone right there, and then bring the stomach in. As I said, I don't really connect my lines when it comes to women when I do abs. It's gonna go up, you won't see that. The rest of that arm there, the rest of that leg, fake legs. You must be hungry, Brian. So, and won't see too much muscle. Won't really see a lot of muscle in the female. I don't like muscles. I like to keep the legs smooth. And then you have this, and you have this curve right here where that little pelvic bone, shape of the pelvic bone. So that's why you see the two curves, except unless you're looking at like anime and they just make it like smooth, which is cool. But I guess the way I learned to draw women is because of the bone and give them that little extra hip piece. You don't have to, but that's like a habit of mine. So let's just slim it all down and make it one like that. Bring that leg in. All right, so this is why I use two colors. One color would be more for the rough. The second color would be for the almost finished, and the ink would be for the finished. Unless I threw a pencil in there to, you know, get a little more detail like I did on the hands. So another great teaching lesson by Master Artist Brian. Yeah, right. So there you have it. It's just basic kind of a stand. Well, kind of a walk now because her head was there. If she was looking at you, it'd be more of a, like a pose. Like, hey, strike a pose, take a picture of me. So call it what you will. It's either a stand or a walk. I like to call it a stand. Like one of her teammates called her and she's like, what, you call me? And then she had to kind of like stop. I'll bring that head in a little bit more because it's shifted over. Make it at least right, Brian. And I was about to say something. It was like really important, but maybe it wasn't. Which means I have to adjust that neck a little bit. Coming down and in and sloping. Yeah. Oh, I think it was like turning away, looking away, turning a picture upside down. This helps you look at it. You can see if something is like off. Turn it upside down. If you had a mirror, you can hold it up to the mirror and you can look at it in the mirror, or just walk away from it, like I say, or turn it upside down for a few minutes, you know, to kind of like focus your eyes, and then you can turn it back over, and then you should be able to see something that might be wrong immediately. Like, I think I will give her just a little more lat, but that's just in the finished product. That's just for the finished product. And then, as I said, a lot of little things you don't have to worry too much about, especially if you're dressing your character. There's a lot of things that mistakes, or I don't want to say mistakes, not knowing, non-knowing if this is right or wrong. You cover it up. Like if I put a dress on her or some armor or something like that, a lot of this would be irrelevant. So it's just the position and the shape and your, size that really matters, especially if you're covering the person in a uniform, unless it's a skin tight uniform or half naked uniform, leaving a lot of stuff open. So other than that, is this blurred or is this my eyes are tired? I am going to call this one a done deal, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm trying to keep these short. I'm trying to really keep these short so I can keep going. That could be considered a little long for me, but I'm going to leave this as for now. Maybe fix it later. Maybe keep it. We'll see. All right, so that's going to be it for this quick anatomy. I'm going to do a couple more women as we go, and then get back into the men. And when you stop doing men and you do women for a minute, when you get back into men, they come out a lot better. I don't know why, but it's somebody told me that a long time ago, and it's so true. Once you learn the women and you comfortable getting back into men, I guess because you don't have to keep it like slim, and so you just go wild with a man and make him big and bulky, and it comes out better. So that's going to be it. 24 minutes minus editing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep drawing.